Hi and welcome to I Build Bricks. Today I'm looking at Eldorado Fortress, Lego set number 6276 from 1989, part of the Pirates theme. It served as the main headquarters of the Imperial soldiers, at least until the Imperial Trading Post was released in 1992, and was also known as Governor's Fort Sabre. There was also a set called Sabre Island, which was known as Governor's Bastion, which must have caused some confusion for some purchasers. This set originally belonged to my wife and her brother, and she got a lot of play before spending 20 or so years mixed in with the rest of our shared Lego collection. We sorted the whole collection into sets a few years ago and discovered that various of the pirate sets were in pretty good condition with very few missing parts, unlike some of the Technic sets from the same collection. Based on a large moulded and printed base, the fortress has 506 pieces, including 2 working cannons which fire round 1x1 blocks, 2 boats with oars and flags, a jail cell and a swivelling crane. The base plate provides a dungeon covered with some plates and a trapdoor, and 8 minifigs provide a range of play options. These are Captain Redbeard, the leader of the pirates, and one of his shipmates, the governor himself, an Imperial captain, and 4 Imperial soldiers. There's also treasure chests with gold coins and a range of weapons including muskets, a flintlock pistol and a sword. As with other sets from the period, the instructions have more of a spot the difference approach than modern sets, with anything up to 28 pieces being added in a single step. The build starts with the 2 boats, each of which gets 2 suits formed from 2 1x2 plates and a 2x4 plate. Each small boat then gets a flag to indicate their allegiance and some crew. The pirate boat gets the captain and the crewman, while the Imperial boat gets just a soldier. Now for the fortress itself. Printed base plates seem to tend to have minor variations, meaning it's important not to rely on the print when positioning elements. In this case, however, the print variations tend to be around the water level, which is completely irrelevant to the build. We start with support structures for the dock. At the bottom of a ramp which will lead to the entrance of the fort, and for a tower which will eventually support the crane. These make use of the studs at the bottom of the base plate and follow the slopes which are moulded into it. The fortress walls are then built up at the top level of the base plate, and the roof of the dungeon covers most of the hollow in the middle. Next, the trapdoor is added, and the windows for the ground floor of the fortress are built, each using a pair of slope bricks in a V shape as the base, and an arch at the top. Panels provide the walls for the jail cell and the main body of the fort, with a couple of different prints providing some interest to the different sides. The jail cell door is a sturdy 6 wide and 7 high frame, rather than the smaller 4 wide and 6 high doors more commonly used, giving a nice impression of a rugged cell which has a chance of holding a pirate captain. The roof for the jail cell is also the floor of the lookout point, and holds the mounting point for the crane's rope. Further height is added to the walls and more structure for the main crane tower. The main door to the fort uses 2 half doors, allowing it to open wide, and continues the use of arches and architecture. Not only does the door have an arched top, but it also has a short passage with an arched entryway. The crane tower construction continues, along with more height for the walls. There's a cannon point at the front of the fort overlooking the ramp. The crane structure on top of the tower is black, contrasting with the white and yellow used for most of the fort itself. On top of the entrance, a further floor with crenellated walls where the governor can stand and watch arrivals, complete with a door leading into the upper floor. A cannon emplacement complete with turntable to aim the cannon, completes the main building. While the crane swivels, it doesn't have any winch mechanism, so any crane use has to be performed by pulling the string directly. Winch elements have been in use for many years before this set was published, but maybe it was felt that getting soldiers to pull the ropes was more authentic. The fort reaches its final height with the last crenellations, then gains a palm tree and torches before the submodels and imperial flag are added to finish the set. As mentioned before, the set was part of the Pirates theme, which also included a bunch of other sets ranging from pocket mini-kits with fewer than 30 parts, up to the Black Sea's Barracuda, a pirate ship with over 900 parts. The Barracuda was also released in 2002, then again in 2020, each time taking advantage of new LEGO elements and techniques. The 2020 version could even be rebuilt into an island fortress. Eldorado Fortress, that meanwhile, has been a popular subject for MOC designers, with a few different versions around. Some of these have even been pirated in the more modern sense, with sets being sold by various clone brands. In terms of original creations, one was created for a competition held by LEGO. It was created by Armoured Bricks. This stuck with the original colour scheme and layout, but replaced the base plate with a brick-built alternative, and added some details into the towers. Baron's Sat designed one, which again sticks with the original scale while updating the colour scheme to a more natural palette, and again swapping the base for a bit built structure. Legato Legion sticks fairly close to the original layout and adds lots of details to the walls and other structures, as well as adding a courtyard. It's also at a slightly larger scale than the original. Finally, there was one by Dreambuild Bricks, preserving the rough layout of the original while adding far more detail with dilapidated jetties, a bustling courtyard, and covered passages between towers. It's also significantly larger than the original. LEGO appear to have noticed this interest, since there are a lot of rumours of a new version of this fortress being released later this year, possibly in July, but we'll have to wait and see if they're true. As for the physical model, the swiveling plate and the string for the crane are sadly missing, and the base plate is slightly damaged. However, for a model which is over 30 years old and has been played with by 2 generations of family, it's not doing too badly. Thank you for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe. Join me next time when we'll be looking at some smaller sets from another retired theme.